PMAC Movies or PMAC Perspective or whatever channel I'm posting this on. Now, PMAC Perspective, I haven't put a video up on PMAC Perspective for a while, so I don't have anything, any sort of, sometimes when I do these videos I like to jot a few things down so at least I have some sort of outline for what I'm going to talk about, but I haven't done that. I got a sneeze coming too. And I got coffee. So I actually have some different stuff. Let me grab what I got here. I don't know if I really like it. This is the first time I've ever gotten it. It is this mushroom ground coffee. So it has like organic coffee and then lion's mane extract and chaga extract. So I don't know. The taste isn't as good as the usual Guatemalan. But I wanted to try out some mushroom coffee. So I got some that I've only drank it a few times, I guess. Here we go. We'll see how it is. But I just kind of wanted to talk about, what's been... You can't even directly say certain words about what's been going on over the last couple years, so we're gonna have to use like codes. But first, we're gonna put some non-GMO cane sugar in the coffee. Kick back, relax, have a little talk. For the PMAC Perspective fans, I don't even know how many. I rarely look at my PMAC Perspective channel. I'm usually on PMAC Movies, so I think I was maybe at like 30-something subscribers, and if somebody left a comment or something over the last few months, I probably wouldn't even have seen it. But now that I'm actually putting a video up on there, I will keep more tabs on it. So certainly, this is about the comments, and if I don't feel like anybody's paying attention, there's no reason to put the time and effort into making the videos. So if you are one of the few people that watches the video, I'd love to hear your feedback, even if it's something short. When this stuff first started last year, to me, I knew it was years and years ago. I knew that illness isn't past the way that we're told that it is years ago, and I've been testing that theory out by not worrying about germs or anything like that. And yes, I've gotten illnesses once every few years, basically. I very rarely even get like little colds. Like, it seems like every few years I'll get like a pretty decent fever with other symptoms, and I'm sick for a few days, and then I'm okay and I'm good for several years. That's how it's been. And I don't do all this stuff they tell you to do. I've pretty much lived my life the same way over the past couple years. So basically, how this stuff started was, I believe, because I don't really watch the news, but I believe that, they were showing people dropping in like other countries in Asia and in Europe. I'm not going to even say specific countries because I don't want, the video to get flagged or whatever. But, they're showing people, having horrible symptoms. So it's just, the beginning was all about getting people scared and in a state of fear. And when you're in a state of fear, you can get talked into things because you're not thinking clearly. It's like, think of a person who's very angry and they just lose control. I mean, a lot of people are sitting in prisons just because they got really pissed off and they did something stupid. And they hurt somebody or killed somebody, and now they're sitting in prison for years and years and years and years because their anger just took over. They didn't think their decision-making through. They didn't think it through. Their emotions took over. So what they need to do is really put you in that state of fear. and just so much manipulation. I mean, I can't even get into everything, but it's like, oh, I'm a strong, healthy person, but if I get it and then I'm around, kids or elderly people, I could be responsible for them dying. So that mindset is really what they got in there. For the people that are sick, that already have health issues, they're very scared staying home all the time, a lot of them. Because I kept working, I kept talking to people. I was talking to people on a daily basis, talking to people about their families as part of my job. So I know what the common people around here were thinking, what their thought process was. And I also saw, and heard how much illness there was. Which at the beginning was very minimal, and now more people are getting sick, which is part the time of the year, and a lot of other things, which again, it's like we kind of got to cut this into pieces and go after one. I could talk about that piece for maybe a half hour and then another piece for a half hour, but this whole video probably is going to be, who knows how long it is, I guess, but the whole thing could be a half hour. So where did I kind of leave off with that? The beginning, and I should have wrote an outline because now I'm all over the place. But the manipulation, the fear. So it's not just necessarily fear for yourself, but fear for your family members and your loved ones. That was really what was pushed across. And then, they got people thinking, oh, it can sit on. That was the big thing. That was like if you touch it, it would be staying on surfaces. So they got everybody spraying Lysol. This was even before masks. They got everybody spraying Lysol and cleaning with bleach all the time and sterilizing everything nonstop. Well, think about it. They do this at hospitals already. Hospitals are the places where people tend to go in and get worse. People tend to go in and get bad infections. And it gets worse. Like a lot of people don't just go in there and get better. Like you hear about a lot of people going there and getting worse. You don't want a totally sterile environment. Plus, the chemicals. Lysol has toxic chemicals. So, like where I work, after every person that was in our office, we're supposed to clean it up, clean where they touched anything or anything like that. Never anything like that before. Oh, any pen, if anybody touches a pen, you got to wipe it down, and all this sort of thing. It created insane people thinking that everything has to be clean all the time, or you could get sick and get your family members sick, which is totally. I knew it was BS then, and now it's obvious that it's BS, and it's obvious to everybody. The problem, I think, is although that aspect of it is obvious, and eventually these, within this year, they came out and said, oh, it doesn't really, you can't really get sick off of touching a surface. Like the chances are slim to none. But people still are cleaning like crazy, even though that's not even a thing. But they already got people. But why are people hanging on? It was a 2-week thing at first, and now it's 2 years, and that certain mindset is, oh well, not everybody's following the rules. Not everybody's wearing the thing and doing the you got to stay away from people a certain distance and all that. No, everybody's. First of all, for a great time period, almost everybody was doing it because it was like, mandatory to do it. I need some coffee. Hopefully it's not too hot. Not too bad. people are generally following. But there's no way you could get every single person out in public to follow this. It's an impossible thing. There's just people that aren't going to do it because of maybe their mental functioning, or not even just realizing that it's a bunch of BS. People see that it's BS, though. There aren't people dropping in the streets. It's not, none of that fear stuff that they showed you. And they got people thinking, oh, well, you know, the test proves it. What's the test even testing for? The test doesn't even make sense. Sticking that thing way up into your friggin' brain. It doesn't even make sense. Why would they have to make it so uncomfortable for you? And then they're pushing all this forced, you know, oh, you have to do this, you have to do this, you have to stay home, you have to do this. The effect on people's mental health and stress levels is it's blatantly obvious more than any sort of physical thing. And I'm out there talking to people. I know. People aren't, oh, my family members, they're, you know, passed away, this and that. Very, very seldom, you know. Not any more than, like, usual. But the mental anguish that people are going through, the stress of all these, the control and all, and it's not, the only way it ends is if people stop following it, if people don't do it. If people just keep doing it, it's just going to go on forever for the rest of it, which is probably what it's going to be at this point. It's probably going to be the rest of your life. Oh, there's this new illness, I don't want to use the key word. So there's this new thing, you know, spreading around, and we have to do this now, and we have to do this because of this. And it can just go on forever. I mean, I just don't see, there's too many people that are just going with it. That are not resisting, they're just going with it. And if you do resist it, they will be on you to some degree. I mean, really, I don't know. It seems like a lot of people are over it, or they're not necessarily over it, but they're seeing it's not. It's like you can see that it's not what they say, but then people still mostly go with it. And I think it's more about the people that are really big into this thing, that it's like they formed their identity around it. They have low self-esteem. They have, and it's like, they see all these other people doing it. Oh, do this, you gotta wear this and get this medical procedure and do that. And we all have to do this together. And it makes them feel like a part of something, and there's nothing here. They're so insecure, such low self-esteem, that it's like they can be part of something. And I'm not saying that they're consciously doing this. I think it's more of a subconscious thing, but they're like part of this group, and they're part of this cause, and it's giving their life meaning. And they can't see, or they can't accept that it's not true meaning, like real meaning, like you're not really doing anything that's benefiting your life. Holy cow, it's almost 11 o'clock. So it's like this. This is a lot of what it is. People are forming, the people that are really into this and like, oh, you better do this or else, or you're killing people. Those sorts of people are the ones that have like made this really a part of their identity and a part of their, it's given their life meaning that it didn't have before, this thing. And it's really sick. But I've seen so many people's lives affected in just sad ways that, oh, I can't be around I haven't seen my grandkids for months. I haven't been able to hug my grandkids for months. Sure, you could have hugged your grandkids. It's all a psychological thing. The fear, oh, if I do this, this could happen. It's disturbing. And people with mental issues already, they've believed this the most. And it's affected them the most because they're already fragile. And it's just sad to see it. And people really, we don't have the same social interactions that we used to have. And that's really an important part of life, is being able to connect with other people. And that's been going down for years, even before this stuff. You know, with technology, our social interactions really went down. But now, with this thing over the past 2 years, it's just, it's went down a ton more. And I know, like, with my work, a lot of it's through a screen now. I mean, meetings and stuff, all through a screen, all through, apps, rather than actually being in person at an in-person meeting. Which that aspect of it I actually kind of like, because I don't really like, you go to those meetings around a bunch of people that you're not necessarily comfortable with. It's kind of nicer to do them on video. But social and family events, I personally have still been doing pretty much the same stuff, but a lot of people are really, they weren't doing it, at least for a while, maybe kind of now, but then here around the holidays, they're going to do, people are getting back to see their friends and family for Christmas, and now this is happening, and this is happening. They're really going to push it here. They're already pushing it, and they're really going to push it here after Christmas. It's part of, you can see their game plan. They talk about it beforehand, and then they do it. It doesn't matter if it's real or not. It doesn't matter if it's real or not, because people don't go by what they see. They go by what they're told on the screen for the most part. A lot, and not everybody. Maybe people not watching this don't do that, but This time period is a big test. If you take a look at it from like a spiritual perspective, this is definitely a big test. It's really pushing you. It's making things more obvious. How could all these things be like in lockstep going along with it? Like, you turn on the screen, politics, media, other countries, sports. It's all they talk about it everywhere. You can't get away from it. It's all in lockstep. And there's a reason for that, because everything at the top of this, this like kind of pyramid structure at the top there, the people or whatever it is, entity sending down what's going on, they're pushing it along, and then if you talk about this, you're out. If you do this, you're out. So everything's really like controlled from that pyramid structure, and just like a really sick way. Most people don't see it. Most people can't see it. I think people are seeing it more. But there's a lot more to it. This is a very simplified talk. I hope everybody does enjoy their holidays here. Enjoy time with friends and family. Understand that what we're going through is a test. It's not a pleasant one. It hasn't been a pleasant exercise here. It's hard on everybody. Understand that. It's hard on everybody. Like I said, there are people that form their identities and actually get off on it. They get off on this. And like I talked about a few minutes ago, it's given they're these pathetic, insecure, no self-confidence, no like real sense of identity. They got to get it from other people, from society. It's giving their lives meaning, because it's giving them something where, hey, we can be united against these people who don't go along with it. These people that won't get the medical thing in them, and won't wear the thing over their face, and we can get angry at them, And I see other people getting angry at them, and I can be part of the group and get angry at them. And it gives them that sense of feeling like a part of something. And those people are never going to give it up. They love being a part of that. And you could sit in a room with them and share all your perspectives and your points, all your good points. They're not going to give you an inch. They're not going to say, oh, well, that makes sense, but let me ask you this. You know, when you're having a conversation with an intelligent person who doesn't just react emotionally, oh, you don't agree with me, you're a poo-poo head. You're not going to get anywhere with those people. If somebody says something I disagree with, I can come back with, well, I understand what you mean, and I kind of see your point, but what about this? And, you know, have a back and forth. It's like people with certain, like, religious beliefs. A lot of them, like, you try to have a conversation with them, and you can just see they're, like, getting angry. You're going to hell! You can't think that! That sort of thing. And it's that group thing. They have the force of their group. They have their whole group agreeing, these people are bad and they're going to hell. These people, this is bad. This is evil. And they have their group with them, and they feel powerful within their group. So the people like me that are kind of like, there are people who think similar to me, but we're pretty like few and far between. We don't have a I don't have a big group of people saying, no, I disagree with that or whatever. No, I disagree. It's just basically me. And these groups of people who believe the same thing, so they think they're right, they will gang up on you. They will discredit you by their numbers, in their minds anyway. We know that isn't true, but in their minds, they have the group backing, so they can come at you. If you can get isolated, if the system overall too, if they can isolate you, they got you. And that's why they don't need full compliance with everything. If they got 95, even it probably has to be, I don't know, it has to be pretty high, 98% compliance. The few people that don't comply, boom, they can just knock them off. They can just go after them. But what if 25% don't comply? That's tough. That's tougher. That's 1 out of 4 people not complying. How do they? That's a lot of people to kind of go after, or preferably more than that. And that's a lot what it is getting these groups together, and then going after the individuals who think for themselves. You got these group, even, and then they can group you too. Oh, you're just a conspiracy theorist. There are people who are conspiracy theorists that are totally nuts and believe a lot of nutty, crazy crap. But that's part of the game, though. That's the system has created that. So there's conspiracies that are probably true, maybe 1 out of 20. And then there's ones that are total nonsense. But whether you believe the nonsense ones, you believe 20 out of the 20 or 1 out of the 20, conspiracy theorist. Either way, you're a conspiracy theorist. I got you in a group. I'm better than you because you're a conspiracy theorist, and I read mainstream articles that said that conspiracy theorists are like, they got these mental issues going on. Boom. Gotcha. It's just getting people with these labels, and most people will just fall into one of the categories. And people can't even, they break down if you don't fall into one of the categories. It's like if you don't vote. Well, I don't agree with either. These options are not good options. They're both bullshit options. There's no good option. Oh, well, you gotta vote. I don't want to participate. I don't want to give my power to it, my life force to it, my spiritual energy to it. I don't want to participate in that. Oh, vote, because everywhere it says, you turn on the TV, it says vote. You turn on the computer, it says vote. You turn on sports, it says vote. Yeah! And it's just, I guess I want to, I have a ton of things a ton of areas I could go with this, but I want to finish it up there. I'm hoping that I get some feedback so it makes making these videos something that I am motivated to keep doing. So please, if you watch the video, leave me something. Leave me something, and we can get a conversation started. Look at what other people are saying in the comment section and reply to them. But we can have a back and forth conversation on this thing. You know, that's really what it's about, is trying to connect, I guess, in this way, trying to connect. So if I don't really connect with people, there's no reason to keep making these, and that's why I don't make them very often. So I tend to get more pushback, especially if I put this on PMAG Movies. I'd definitely get pushback. So I do appreciate you watching, and you know, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment, and you know, let's get a conversation started. So it's okay to disagree as long as you do it in a respectful way. And if you agree, I certainly would love to hear that too. We'll talk to you next time on PMAG Perspective.